What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So we got some major news here for you guys right now here in this video, including Congress has the power. I'll show you here. This is making some big news here. Congress has the power to block Trump from taking office, but lawmakers must act now. So we will go over that here in this video. Yeah, this is some crazy news here. This is making big headlines here, so we'll go over the details here on that. Wow. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on that. We'll go over the details here on that, as well as Medicare and Social Security changes here that are going to be going into effect here in the New Year's. Some really big news here on that we'll cover here in this video and more. Yeah, so some really big changes here. These are already passed, and some really big changes here going on for millions and millions of Americans. All this and more in this video. Let's jump right in. We are live right now here on YouTube. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat. Let me know how your holidays were. Let me know if you're happy 2024 is over. Did you have a good 2024? Are you looking forward to 2025? Was it a decent year for you? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, I keep saying this every year, but the last year keeps feeling crazier and crazier. And now 2025, will 2025 simmer down and be one of those years that feels less crazy than the last year? 2020 was wild with the pandemic. 2021, 2022, 2023, it felt like the years kept getting crazier and crazier. Will 2025 be the first year that simmers down a little bit? Or are we looking on the horizon in World War III with two major wars going on? And or is President Trump going to come in and end the wars like he promised by day one? We will see. We will see. Let me know your thoughts on that here. Or is Congress going to block him from coming in? We'll go over that and more here. So let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, and country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globes. And don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat. Here we go. All right, some major changes coming here in 2025 for Medicare and Social Security. We'll be covering this here in some future videos here, as well as more changes come up here, and as we cover more here in subsequent videos. Let's start with this change. Medicare, $2,000 prescription drug cap starts in January 1st. So this is actually really big news here for a lot of seniors and people that are going to be family members as well. Here's why. Because $2,000 might sound like a lot, might sound like a little. It's actually good news for a lot of Americans because it's only $166 a month. Because when you divide $2,000 by 12 months, it's only $166 a month. That's right. Medicare's $2,000 prescription drug cap that was passed by the Biden administration will take effect at the start of the new year 2025. The yearly limit of out-of-pocket payments under the Inflation Reduction Act is expected to lower millions of seniors' medical costs. It will have a particularly significant impact for patients taking expensive drugs to treat cancer and other serious Americans. Over 3.2 million Americans are expected to save money on prescriptions in 2025, increasing to 4.1 million Americans by 2029 per AARP projections. Those figures vary by state. In Texas, 9% of beneficiaries are expected to hit the cap in 2025. That figure is as high as 18% in Alaska. Nearly half of all Medicare enrollees are expected to benefit from the spending limit are between 75 and 84 years old. Remember, this is only $166 a month to hit the spending limit. About 1.5 million Medicare beneficiaries spend more than $2,000 on prescriptions back in 2021. And remember, 2025 is 4 years later. Don't forget inflation. About 5 million Medicare enrollees exceeded $2,000 during at least 1 year between 2012 and 2021, and we know that prescriptions cost a lot more than they did back then. The cap does not apply to monthly insurance premiums, so it doesn't apply to your premiums, or drugs administered at the doctor's office or healthcare settings. Part D plans have historically not had a limit of out-of-pocket settings according to AARP. Certain payments made on enrollees' behalf, like through extra help programs, will count towards the $2,000. Also, the Inflation Reduction Act will bring out other changes to Medicare Part D, including making insulin available at $35 per month per covered prescription. Enrollees will have the option to pay out-of-pocket costs in the form of capped monthly installment payments instead of all at once at the pharmacy. The manufacturer discount program will replace the existing coverage gap discount program. It will require manufacturers to provide discounts on all their applicable drugs and more. Did you know that there is major Medicare changes coming in 2025? And most seniors are already on the wrong Medicare plans. This will impact your pocketbooks as well as your health. Now, we have an approved Medicare partner that can help save you money and your health. This is very important here. Chapter is the only free, unbiased Medicare advisor that can see across all Medicare plans and find seniors the right personalized coverage. I provided a phone number and a website for you guys here on the screen, or you can click the link down below in the pinned comment for you guys to be able to reach out and talk to somebody directly so you can make sure you're on the right Medicare plan. So the best thing I suggest to do is call the phone number or click on the website and talk to Chapter's Medicare advisors and get the right advice that you need, which is completely free. In addition to this, are you one of the almost 3 million Americans who could benefit from the past Social Security boost bill called the Social Security Fairness Act? And honestly, there's going to be more than this because there's other people like, I just found out at Christmas that my brother's fiance will be one of these people because although she's not retired yet and she's not receiving Social Security benefits, she is one of the people. She was a nurse, and then she also apparently she worked in a couple different sectors. And she is one of the people who, when she goes on Social Security in the future, she would have got reduced Social Security benefits because she is one of these people who would have been affected by this had this not passed. So apparently she paid into Social Security, and then at some point she had where she paid into a government pension as well through a different job, and she had several different jobs throughout her life. And had this bill not passed, she would have got reduced Social Security because of the way it was before this, okay? So she paid into Social Security throughout her life, but at some point she had a government pension through one of her jobs, and her Social Security would have been unfairly reduced because of the way the laws used to be. So imagine if your Social Security was reduced by 50% or more, however it used to be, because of the way the laws used to be. That's how it was for millions of Americans, probably many millions of Americans, over 3 million Americans, because there's a lot of people who aren't retired yet that were going to get reduced Social Security benefits by half or whatever it was because they worked in the public sector and the private sector and the government sector. They were going to get their Social Security benefits reduced by half because of the way this whack-ass system works, for lack of a better term. They were getting robbed. And there's future retirees who were going to get robbed as well. That's how this was going to work. So Congress finally, after decades, fixed this system, which is going to be a new change coming into effect here as well. They finally righted this wrong. Now, Congress has, we'll talk about this here in future episodes, proposals to save Social Security insolvency, which has estimates to run out of money in as early as 8 to 10 years. Okay. Now, Congress is going to have to do something because their Social Security is set to run out in money in as early as 8 to 10 years. Congress has to do something. Okay. Because 2025 to 2033 is 8 years. Okay. And the program faces a 20% cut to benefits. So Congress has to do something because money is running out. So we'll talk about that here in future episodes. Next up, Congress has the power to block President Trump from taking office, but lawmakers must act now. This is making big headlines because of this headline here. The Constitution provides that an oath-breaking insurrectionist is ineligible to be president. Here is what this article is saying. The Constitution provides that an oath-breaking insurrectionist is ineligible to be president. Just pause right there for a second. This is what the Constitution says. So again, let me know your thoughts on this. This is the plain wording of Section 3 and the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. No person shall hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state having previously taken an oath to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. This disability can be removed by a 2/3 vote in each house. Now, will we see Republicans vote for this? I doubt it. I doubt it. So, therein lies the rub. Disqualification is based on insurrection against the Constitution and not the government. The evidence is based on Donald Trump's engaging in such insurrection is overwhelming. Based on what this article is saying, not everybody, well, a lot of people are going to have different opinions on that. You can let me know your thoughts on that. The matter has been decided in 3 separate forums, 2 of which were fully contested with active participation of Trump's counsel. The first fully contested proceeding was Trump's second impeachment trial on January 13th, 2021. Then President Trump was impeached, quote, for incitement of insurrection. At the trial in the Senate, 7 Republicans joined all Democrats to provide a majority for conviction, but failed to reach the 2/3 votes required for removal of office. Inciting insurrection encompasses engaging in insurrection against the Constitution or giving aid and comfort to the enemies thereof. The grounds for disqualification specified in Section 3. The second contested proceeding was the Colorado 5-day judicial due process hearing, where the court, quote, found by clear and convincing evidence that President Trump engaged in insurrection as those terms are used in Section 3. Quote, the Colorado Supreme Court affirmed on further appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court that the court held that states lack power to disqualify candidates for federal office and that the federal legislation was required to enforce Section 3. The court did not address that finding Trump had engaged in insurrection. Interesting. Finally, there is the bipartisan inquiry of the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. More than half of the witnesses whose testimony was displayed at its 9 public hearings were Republican. More than half, including members of the Trump administration. The inescapable conclusion of this evidence is that Trump engaged in insurrection against the Constitution. In particular, Trump unlawfully demanded that his Vice President, Mike Pence, throw out votes in the Electoral College for political opponent Joe Biden, a power he did not have and Mike Pence did not do. While the riot was in progress, Trump used Pence's rejection of his demands to further inflame the crowd and cause them to, quote, hang Mike Pence. Wow. So let me know your thoughts. Will we see Congress act on this clause that's in the Constitution? Yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts. I don't think we will, because I don't think we'll see 2/3 Republicans or Republicans join Democrats to get that 2/3 vote. Yeah, especially with Trump, president-elect coming in now. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this, but this is a headline, making an article, making big headlines right now. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. I will keep you up to date here with everything going forward. I will have a reduced schedule here for a few days going forward, so don't be alarmed, but I will keep you up to date here with everything going forward. Make sure to subscribe down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information. Click here to see $1,400 holiday stimulus checks going out, or click here to see January 3rd, or click here to see new information about January 3rd Social Security benefits. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you coming in the next video.